aspects I have not discussed. What I am going to do is the root system later, like in the next class, or if possible today class itself. 1 hour I will discuss this and remaining 1 hour the root system. Okay? Because this is also essential for your weekend exam, no? Leave that root system as such. Don't write this information in the notebook. Write it in a separate paper. This is anther. This is filament. This is anther. This anther encloses sporogenous tissue. In microsporangium. This is called microsporangium. It is filled with sporogenous tissue. This sporogenous tissue is also called pollen mother cells. Simply PMC. Now I am taking one PMC. The PMC is diploidic cell. It divides by meiosis. When it divides by meiosis, you are going to get a tetrad of spores. This is called microspore tetrad. This has 4 microspores. Four microspores. This microspore tetrad has 4 microspores. The 4 microspores separated with the action of enzyme callase, C-A-L-L-A-S-E, callase, and also because of dehydration, and become 4 pollen grains. Now these are the 4 pollen grains. Now this process of formation of microspores or pollen grains from microspore mother cell or pollen mother cell through meiosis is called microsporogenesis. Microsporogenesis. Formation of microspores or pollen grains from microspore mother cells. This is also called microspore mother cell. This phenomena itself is called microsporogenesis. How many microspore mother cells are present in microsporangium? Many. Microsporangium consists many PMC. Consists. Each anther has 4 microsporangia. And each microsporangium So is it completed? No. Bhanu, Aditya, Rahul, everyone is saying no. Oh, still you are writing. Anther consists sporogenous tissue. The sporogenous tissue is also called microspore mother cells. That is also called pollen mother cells. Each anther consists 4 microsporangia. Each microsporangia consists many pollen mother cells. I am taking one pollen mother cell. This pollen mother cell, when undergoes meiosis, it gives one tetrad, microspore tetrad. That one tetrad consists Shall I clean the board? Okay. Now, so look at here, please. One microspore mother cell. This is diploidic PMC. What is the meaning of PMC? Pollen mother cell. This is also called microspore mother cell. Now this undergoes one meiosis. As a result, you are going to get one microspore tetrad. with how many microspores? With 4 microspores. This total structure is called tetrad. This has 4 microspores. The 4 microspores get separated into 4 pollen grains. This pollen grain is called male gametophyte. Now these are 4 pollen grains. Each pollen grain possesses 2-layered wall, an outer exine. This is exine. It is thick, hard, and made with sporopollenin. It is one of the highly resistant organic material in the world, in the nature. Most resistant organic material. And the inner wall is called intine. It is thin. It is thin and made with pectocellulose. Means pectin plus cellulose. Inside that there is plasma membrane. And there is nucleus, which is haploidic. Now this is haploidic pollen grain. This is also haploidic, but this is diploidic. This is what you can see with respect to the structure of pollen grain. It is second year NCRT. This is from second year NCRT, plus 2 NCRT. Sexual reproduction in flowering plants. So shall I clean the board? Shall I wipe the board? Irfan is saying no. Irfan seems to be very slow. Shashikant is also slow. Sai is also very, very slow. Now, this pollen grain, this is pollen grain. With exine and intine. This is also called male gametophyte. It undergoes two mitosis. In first mitosis, it gives two cells, undergoes one for mitosis, and it gives two cells. A small, a large vegetative cell, small generative cell. This generative cell again undergoes mitosis and gives two sperms. Two sperms. Now, intine forms pollen tube, and this intine now consists two sperms and vegetative nucleus. Listen to me here. Pollen grain first undergoes one mitosis. It gives two cells, a large vegetative cell and small generative cell. The generative cell again undergoes mitosis and gives two sperms. In the meantime, intine, this is intine, this is exine. Exine, intine. Intine means inner wall. Exine means outer wall. Now this inner wall forms a pollen tube. Now into the pollen tube, the two sperms and this vegetative nucleus. This is vegetative nucleus. All are transferred into the pollen tube tip. This is what happens. This process takes place after the pollination. Like formation of pollen tube and formation of these two sperms usually occurs after the pollination. So, one pollen grain by how many mitosis? By two mitosis gives two sperms. These are non-motile. Non-motile means they cannot move. They cannot move. Yeah, now listen to me here. I said each pollen grain, one pollen grain, divides by two mitosis to give two sperms. How? First, it divides one mitosis. By first mitosis, it gives two cells. A large vegetative cell, a small generative cell. Then, the generative cell again divides by another mitosis to give two sperms. Generative cell again divides by mitosis, gives two sperms. Now, the two sperms, then this vegetative nucleus transferred into the pollen tube. This pollen tube is formed from intine. Intine of pollen grain forms pollen tube. What is intine? Inner wall. Inner wall of the pollen grain. You can write down now. Intine of the pollen grain. Intine of pollen grain Intine of pollen grain forms pollen tube. Forms pollen tube. Are Vijay, G Vijay, are you there? Mr. Vijay. This fellow, it seems he is not there in the classroom. He switched off the video and went out. Intine of the pollen grain forms a pollen tube. S1, that may be problem for you. Everyone is getting clear video. Pollen tube. The pollen tube consists the two sperms and one vegetative nucleus. Two sperms and nucleus of vegetative cell. And nucleus of vegetative cell. So this is what you can see with respect to the formation of male gametes. Next, let us see the female gamete. This is carpel. Carpel. Carpel is also called megasporophyll. And this part is ovary. And this is style. And this is stigma. The ovary encloses ovules. Now these red color structures are ovule. If you take a ovule, this is the structure of a ovule. Inside the ovule, there is a nutritive tissue called nucellus. It is a nutritive tissue. This is called micropyle. One of the nucellular cell present near the micropyle become archisporial cell. Archisporial cell, diploidic. This archisporial cell differentiated into megaspore mother cell. Megaspore mother cell. This is diploidic. Now think that this is megaspore mother cell. And these are all nucellular cells present around megaspore mother cell. Megaspore mother cell is also called MMC. Now this is MMC. This megaspore mother cell divides by meiosis, forms 4 megaspores. Forms 4 megaspores. This formation of megaspores from megaspore mother cell through the meiosis is called megasporogenesis. Is called megasporogenesis. Is it completed? Is it completed? Have you copied? No. Rahul is still writing. Reddy, Mr. Reddy. New cellular means new cellular cells. Rahul also complete. Now listen to me once again. Ovary, Array, Venkat Naik, open the video. Hello. Ovary encloses ovules. Inside the ovule, there is a tissue called nucellus. It is a nutritive tissue actually. It supplies nourishment. In the nucellus, one nucellus cell. In the nucellus, one nucellus cell which is present nearer to the micropyle becomes a cell called archisporial cell. This archisporial cell again differentiates into megaspore mother cell. Megaspore mother cell. That is also called MMC. Now this is megaspore mother cell. Megaspore mother cell then divides by meiosis and gives 4 megaspores. This process of formation of megaspores from megaspore mother cell through the meiosis is called megasporogenesis. Understood? Mr. Chiru? Hello? Is it clear? Chiru? Okay. Shall I clean the board now? Shall I clean the board? Okay. Now I am going to the next step. Still it is not yet completed. Still we have to discuss so many details regarding this. Now I am going to the next step. So I said this is a ovule. ovule, of course, this is micropyle, this is ovule, inside there is nucellus, this is nucellus, it is diploidic, and now here 4 megaspores are formed. Megaspores are haploidic. The same thing I am writing here. Now, out of these 4 megaspores, listen to me carefully, 3 degenerates. One is functional. This is functional megaspore. So when it degenerates, it appears like this. Now this is the functional megaspore. Now these are the 3 degenerated megaspores. This functional megaspore undergoes 7 mitosis. How many? 7 mitosis, and gives an embryo sac. What kind of embryo sac? 7-celled, 8 nucleated embryo sac. This embryo sac is also called female gametophyte. Now I am giving the diagram of the same. It has 3 antipodal cells, one egg cell, and 2 synergids. These are called synergids, and one central cell with 2 polar nuclei. This is called female gametophyte. The central cell will have a big vacuole. That means if you take the ovule, again, once again I am showing. This is all nucellus. Here is the embryo sac. This is nucellus. This is all ovule, micropyle. Now listen to me carefully. Listen to me carefully here. I am once again explaining. Hello. Hello, please listen to me here. You can copy it later. I'll give you the time. I said 1 megaspore mother cell when divides by meiosis, you are getting 4 megaspores. Am I right? Yes or no? 4 megaspores. Out of the 4 megaspores, 3 of them will degenerate. How many degenerating? 3. Only 1 remains functional. This functional megaspore then undergoes 7 mitosis. 7 mitosis finally gives an embryo sac or female gametophyte with the 7 cells. See, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. 7 cells. With 8 nuclei. Here 1 nucleus, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. 8 nuclei and 7 cells. What are the 7 cells? I'll write it later, the 7 cells. Understood? This is called female gametophyte. Now this female gametophyte is present in the ovule. This is the development of female gametophyte and egg. Egg is the female gamete. First write down, then I'll give you some other details regarding this. Embryo sac. Just write down this. Embryo sac consists 1 egg cell, 2 synergids. This together called 1 egg apparatus. 1 egg apparatus. Total 3 cells. Then 1 central cell with 2 nuclei. Then 3 antipodals. So total 7 cells and 8 nuclei. 1 egg cell with 1 nucleus. With 1 nucleus. This is also with 1 nucleus. But this is with the 2 nuclei. This is with 1 nucleus, like each one with 1 nucleus. This is 1, this is 1, this is 1, this is also 1. Only this one, each one with the 2 nuclei. Means only 1 central cell with the 2 nuclei. So is it completed? Shall I clean the board? Okay. Now let us see what happens during pollination. Pollination means transfer of pollen grain onto the stigma of a gynoecium is called pollination. If pollen of same flower is transferred to the stigma, then it is called autogamy or self-pollination. If pollen of a flower is transferred to the stigma of another flower, then it is called allogamy or cross pollination. Cross pollination. This is enough for pollination because they are asking only definition. So much of information is present in pollination. So I'm not going to touch all that. Is find in second year NCERT plus two book, chapter 2, not in plus 1. Shall I clean the board? Listen to me here carefully. By pollination, this is ovule, this is ovary, this is style, this is stigma. Here is embryo sac. Or female gametophyte. Now, pollen grains are transferred onto the stigma. These pollen grains germinate and forms a pollen tube. The pollen tube passes through the style pollen grain through pollination reach to the stigma. Now with the help of this is pollen tube. It is passes through the stigma style and then enters into the ovule and then into any one of the synergy. That means if you take embryo sac, what is this called? It is synergy. I said pollen tube carrying the two male gametes this is pollen tube releases into one of the synergy. These are the two sperms. Vegetative nucleus disappears. The two sperms are released into synergy. Now this is egg. I said don't give any messages while I am explaining. You can ask all your doubts only after the completion of explanation. Shamendra Swami, open your video. Hello. Now listen to me here. The pollen tube releases the two sperms into a synergids, not directly into egg. Then, please look at here. Now this is egg, this is synergid, this is synergid. And these are two polar nuclei. They fuse and forms secondary nucleus. Now it is diploidic. Now this is secondary nucleus. And these are antipodals. See, so much of complexity this aspect. Actually, we have to go by step as they have given for examination. I am explaining here. Otherwise, I will not touch this part now. Now look at here. Out of the two sperms, these are the sperms. And what is this? This is egg. One sperm fuses with egg. And other sperm fuses with secondary nucleus. One sperm fuses with egg. And second sperm and other sperm fuses with secondary nucleus. of central cell. This phenomena is called double fertilization. This phenomena itself is called double fertilization. First write down, I will explain once again. First write down. Yes. Then let us see some more details regarding this double fertilization. Fertilization means one male gamete fuses with the egg and other male gamete fuses with secondary nucleus. What is secondary nucleus? Two polar nuclei fuses and forms a nucleus. That is called secondary nucleus. That means, let me give once again the same aspect in the form of diagram. Now this is embryo sac. With the 3 antipodals and 1 egg with the 2 synergids with the 2 polar nuclei fused into secondary nucleus. Secondary nucleus is called N plus N. It has 2 polar nuclei. 2 polar nuclei are fused to form secondary nucleus. And this is egg. Here pollen tube has reached and it is transferred the 2 male gametes. Now I said 1 male gamete, this is sperm, fuses with egg. This is egg. Egg plus 1 sperm is called fertilization or syngamy. Syngamy. It gives diploidic zygote. This zygote then divides by mitosis and gives embryo. It is also diploidic. So here there is a fertilization. Next, the second sperm will also fuses with whom? Secondary nucleus. So secondary nucleus plus sperm. This is called triple fusion. Why it is called triple fusion? Why it is called triple fusion? Because 2 polar nuclei plus 1 sperm. Total 3 nuclei are fused. Hence it is called triple fusion. How many nuclei? 2 polar nuclei plus 1 sperm nucleus. So total 3 nuclei are fused. This is called triple fusion. This triple fusion results in the formation of primary endospermic nucleus. This triple fusion is also called vegetative fertilization. This is simply called as PEN, primary endospermic nucleus. This divides by mitosis. Now what is its ploidy? Primary endospermic nucleus ploidy. It is triploid. Why? Because it is formed by two polar nuclei plus one male gamete. So total triploidic. Now this sperm undergoes mitosis and gives endosperm. Endosperm is also triploidic. So how many times fertilization has occurred? As fertilization occurred for twice, this phenomena is called double fertilization. Double fertilization, triple fusion. This double fertilization and triple fusion are unique to angiosperms. Means angiosperms are flowering plants. Means this double fertilization is not seen in any other groups of plant kingdom. Only angiosperms have it. Understood? Is it clear? Hello? Please listen to me here. You can write it later. First, you listen to me here. One egg and one central cell with the two polar nuclei. This is central cell, I said. Central cell. This central cell has two polar nuclei. Understood? This egg fuses with one sperm. The secondary nucleus fuses with other sperm. The fusion of secondary nucleus with sperm is called triple fusion because here total 3 nuclei are fused. 2 polar nuclei plus 1 sperm. This is called triple fusion. And one egg fuses with one sperm. Here this process is called fertilization and this gives zygote. Whereas triple fusion results in the formation of primary endospermic nucleus. This primary endospermic nucleus then divides by mitosis and gives endosperm. As the fertilization is taking place twice, once with egg and once with central cell, that is secondary nucleus of central cell, it is called double fertilization. Got it? Understood? Yeah, only one embryo. One zygote forms one embryo. Is it clear? Okay, first, no, it is triploidic because it is fused with the 3 nuclei, 3 haploidic nuclei. It is triploidic. Occurs first, triple fusion next. Syngamy takes place first and triple fusion next. From the ovule. No, inside the ovule. Endosperm is formed in the embryo sac. The embryo sac is present in the ovule. Issue. It supplies nourishment. It supplies nourishment for the development of embryo. Endosperm is present in many members, like rice is one example. Whatever the starch you are eating is nothing but endosperm. Wheat is another example. So many examples are there. Yes, both botany and zoology are combined in NCERT book. Shall I clean the board? Fertilization is equals to syngamy or fertilization plus triple fusion. Triple fusion. In this, syngamy or fertilization results in the formation of zygote. Triple fusion gives pen, that is primary endospermic nucleus. Zygote by mitosis gives embryo. Pen, this is diploidic. Zygote is diploidic. This is also diploidic. Pen is diploidic. By mitosis gives endosperm. This is triploidic. Endosperm is nutritive. That it supplies now the pen for embryo, developing embryo. How many nuclei have involved in the double fertilization? Shall I clean the board? Hello? Shall I clean the board? Yes. In double fertilization, total number of cells participated. How many cells? 2 sperm cells, 1 egg, 1 central cell. Total 4 cells have involved. Total number of nuclei participated. 2 sperms with the 2 nuclei, 1 egg with 1 nucleus, 1 central cell with 2 polar nuclei. Total 5 nuclei. So number of cells involved is 4. Number of nuclei involved is 5. Got it? Very interesting. What is your name? Andhavarapu. Is it your name or surname?